Hello and welcome back to another episode of Power Rangers lore. Today we're going to be talking about none other than about the crown of the gods, the Corona Aurora. Now, what is the Corona Aurora, also known as the crown of the gods? Well, the name kind of explains what exactly it is. It is a crown with 5 different jewels atop of it that give it great power over the universe and physics itself. Exactly what the power is, we're not 100% certain. Power is never exactly defined into any real material matter. There wasn't each one gem does one certain thing apparently, though it's kind of hinted that they do, but they don't really in truth. Nor is it explained of which of the gods possessed or gave their power or whatever to this crown to name it the crown of the gods itself. You can assume it has to do with the Greek pantheon since it was found in ancient Greece long ago, but it's never exactly more detailed about that. We know that Loki and Thor knew about it, and Loki even tried to gain it for his own self, but that's it. There is no further details to basically figure out why it is called the crown of the gods. Now, we know that it was around millions upon millions upon millions of years ago, long before, well, humanity came about, and the brothers Furious and Moltor tried to steal the crown of the gods. Before they even were monsters, they were very humanoid looking like Ninja Storm type of ninjas, going in after this, well, crown that had all the jewels atop of it. When they were stopped, who was the guardian? None other than the Sentinel Knight, who basically blasted them and then turned them into monsters and banished them to distant planets because they want to use the jewel for evil. We don't know exactly what its purpose is, but you can probably figure out world conquest and galactic domination. Kind of like the trademark of every major villain in Power Rangers series. Now, the Guardian, none other than Sentinel Knight, hid the crown and then scattered the jewels all over the world of Earth. Why didn't he just further scatter them throughout the galaxy? We don't know. He is basically an interdimensional planar being at some point that he could have easily done that and would have protected the jewels a lot easier. But hey, what do we know? We're just going to put everything on Earth conveniently. So, now it would be Andrew Hartford, a Indiana Jones ripoff, who would find none other than the crown itself laying there waiting to be taken and found by some further explorer. When he basically snatches it off his pedestal, he wakes the 2 brothers from their prisons, essentially, in the distant planets, and they come to Earth looking for that crown and the jewels that would give them ultimate power and probably restore them back to their normal humanoid forms. Now, this is where Andrew would basically recruit a bunch of teenagers with attitude that would be the same color as said jewels they were looking for, the black, the yellow, the blue, the red, and the pink, and would go about on a D&D-like quest to find clues to uncover where these jewels are. Now, each one is covered all over the different planets, dealing with different forms of ancient societies, from ancient Egypt to ancient Greece to Rome to possibly even China and, well, Atlantis itself. There is so many different places they touched on, even Aztec society that they bounced around the Earth, but it specified that these jewels were moved around so much and they weren't exactly always in the same spot that they originally hidden long ago. Now, what did each of these gems do individually? Well, not too much. Now, the first gem they come across is the black jewel, which is kind of tricky one because everyone thinks it's called the Eye of the Sea, and it turns out it's not. It's actually this pearl, also known as the Lucky Pearl, that a undead ghostly pirate known as Brownbeard had on him, and basically that's what really truly kept him alive, in my opinion, as a ghost. Now, why they was called the Black Jewel? Well, it's a good question. It kind of threw everyone off with the misnomer of that, like, hey, it's the Black Jewel. It's actually just a pearl, which wasn't black, just a normal white pearl. Clever mindset there. Now, when it was combined with 2 other of the jewels, it was able to basically restore Tyzon back to his Mercurian form rather than his reptilian monstrous form. So that's pretty interesting there, that it has that power of restoration. They also have the power to shape change. They're able to change in size. The Tora Diamond was able to shrink to a much smaller size and was placed alongside the Lucky Pearl itself. This was also one of the other jewels that was used to restore Taizan to his normal form. Now, the blue gem, which was more interesting, was able to attract, well, a meteor or an asteroid to Earth to almost destroy it. However, it was stopped and prevented so, and was never really used again. Now, that's not 100% true, because technically Furious used the jewel to cause the destruction of Moltor's volcano. When Moltor came to him and offered the crown, was able to restore the blue jewel. Now, why does it have this power of, like, I would almost say like magnetic attraction? Don't know why. And why am I saying magnetic attraction? Well, there's a lot of high-intensity metals in the volcano that could use to be destabilized. The whole thing would have caused that volcanic explosion, or also attracting an asteroid that's probably full of rare metals to Earth. That is just one of the reasons why I believe it has that power. However, that is just pure speculation. The red jewel is never really used at all. It was stolen at the end of the series and never really used. It's just a big chunk of, well, yeah, it's just a big chunk of rock, essentially, that just sits there and doesn't really do too much. The last would be the pink jewel, and this one remained hidden for most of the series until they recovered all last of the 4 gems, and in proximity to the other ones, it was able to bring back a mummy that was just sitting there in their house to life and give them a metal box reveals to contain the jewel itself that was able to hide the jewel's signature. That's why they couldn't find it even though it was so close. Now that means it has life-giving properties and restoration further on there, but again, that is just pure speculation. There's no true evidence of what exactly it was able to do by itself. Now when all of them are combined, it's able to fully restore life to anybody, change their entire physiologically in many levels. If this is a spoiler for you and haven't watched the series at all in the last, 15 years, I'm sorry, you need to stop now. But the Corona Aurora is able to restore Mac to life after he dies and turns him from a robot into a fully human being. This is incredible information that it's able to do there, and what it's able to possibly do there. Beyond that, it could do so much more of just like the Thanos snap, half of the population of Earth could disappear, or it could fix all the problems. That's what we get. It is basically the Infinity Gauntlet of the Power Rangers universe. It is only ever really used once, and for non-selfish reasons of restoring life to a Ranger who gave up his life for the safety of others. So in truth, the Corona Aurora is only limited by a person's imagination, in my opinion. You could have limitless power with this thing as long as you have an imagination to understand that and process that in, continue to go about doing more and more with it. Because there doesn't seem to be any limits that this Crown of the Gods truly has. It can restore life, give it human, actual living, breathing blood vessels and all type of stuff without much issue. It was literally like, put the crown on, 1, 2, 3, take it off, he's alive, that's it. Kind of impressive there. Now, where did it go after this? Well, the Sentinel Knight took it and said, well, no, we can have this. This is kind of really super powerful, so I'm going to take this and goodbye, guys. And he does. He just takes off. Smartest plan I could ever see. He goes, yeah, good job, guys. It was probably the smartest thing, just like giving it to me instead of fighting me for it. I don't know what Andrew Hartford's idea was to begin with of why he was originally going to grab it, unless he just wanted to have the collection, or he wanted to restore his son, or make his son, not restore his son, make his son actually human. But we'll never actually know, because there wasn't really an explanation why he was like going after, besides the fact that he wanted to be known as the guy who found the Corona Aurora. Now, why are we talking about this today? Well, of all the series of Power Rangers, except for in space, this is the only one that has certain arcs that we're looking for and seeking things to do, and it is more like a D&D like arc. Now, I'm doing a D&D session this Sunday with a small group of friends, and I'm the DM, and I was looking about what best way to do something to expand in a whole coming series and getting people interested to keep coming back for more rather than just one-off episodes. And I'm getting more inspired by Power Rangers in Space, which is very arc efficient episodes where they do little things and go, okay, we looking for Zordon. We found this bad guy. We found out that essentially Astronema is his sister. Psycho Ranger's sisters get brainwashed again. It was a really good thing. This one is more, hey, we gotta find each of the gems, and that's where we're gonna go from there. I like that whole process, and it gives it an old part of a D&D type of feel because they have to do not just their abilities, but also their knowledge of certain levels of power here. Now, they have to know about the history of the area. They have to know different things in here. So we're going to see how I can tie this all together into the canon lore of Power Rangers as well. Now, the whole premise of my series currently for Power Rangers in the D&D setting is going to be under the Roman gods. Now, Crown of the Gods might have a reference here and there, but I will be making very little true statements of like trying to like break canon lore unless it's a theory that I really like and I think should be put in there as all. Now they're going to be looking for different objects to restore none other than Zeus himself, and they kind of know this because I know I've told them, hey, you guys will be looking for things to restore somebody to power. Now, let me know, guys, what you guys think. I will be giving up more updates of what's happening in the sessions going on. We're going to have Session 0 this Sunday, so wish me luck, and hopefully I do not bomb the entire time, even though I have done many different D&D campaigns, and some of them get pretty crazy. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Thank you for following me, continuing on from this point on forward, even though sometimes I ramble and say the word 5 different times when I shouldn't. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. May the power protect you always, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for further information about Power Rangers lore, Power Rangers toy hunts, and so much more. Thank you, guys.